How can I organize? How can you organize? How can I organize? Me too. How can you organize based on your mindset? This is an important one. We've already been talking about mindset quite a bit. And when it comes to clutter and things not being organized, it often has to do with how you're thinking about things. Now, at the top of the show, we talked about what's your main priority, right? What's your main thing? Middle of the show, we talked about where you're feeling the most pressure. Because sometimes when we feel pressure, it's because we're making ourselves do something, or we're getting concerned about something that actually isn't our priority. If something's your priority, you feel pressure behind it, that's a little bit more natural. But I found often when we feel pressure, it's because of something that was kind of coming from the side or that isn't quite in our view. It's like we don't quite see it. And that leads to this third thing. How can we organize ourselves based on our mindset? And I think it comes down to two really simple, basic questions. Number one, where are you now? What is your main priority? Where's your business at right now? Where are you putting all your energy? For my business, I can break it down. I have like 4 main businesses or ways that I make a living, if you want to call it that. I hate that term, but I can't think of a better term. I can go and say, oh, okay, well, 10% comes from this, 20% comes from this, 55 to 60% comes from this, and that remaining chunk comes from this. But that remaining chunk is a little bit of a wild card, so I'm not going to invest in that too much as far as time and energy. The more you're able to break that down, and I write this down regularly, I think about it regularly, at least a few times a year. Once a quarter would probably be ideal. Once you break that down, then you know, again, what your focus should be on and what clutter you don't need. Again, right now I'm ghostwriting and doing a lot of things related to communication. So maybe I should have a ton of books, which I'm looking at right now. I should have a ton of books on my desk because that's been the focus since the beginning of the year as far as the main way that I made a living and or the main way that I've been serving people. So it makes sense for me to have a stack of books. If I wasn't helping people with their books or their communications, then me having a stack of books here wouldn't quite make sense because that's not where my focus should be. So the first thing is figuring out, where are you now? Where is your business leading you? How are the percentages broken up if you do multiple businesses or services or products like I do? The second part, which you can probably guess, is where am I going to be 6 to 12 months from now? So if I know that I'm going to go from having 1 to 2 episodes of the bringyourworth.tv right now, and then a year from now, I want to have 5 episodes a week, which is a lot. I'm not planning on doing that, but I've done crazier things. But let's say I'm going to 5 episodes a week, say exactly a year from now. Then I should already be organizing my office to make sure that my lighting is in a stronger position. The lighting's getting weird because spring has sprung, so it's a little hot here in Vegas. So this lighting's a little weird. So it's like, well, maybe I'll get better lighting so it's better year round. And then maybe instead of me doing the editing myself, maybe I'll go ahead and get an assistant or whatever, because I know I'm going to be ramping it up. If I ramp it up, that means probably more money will be coming in based on it. So I'll sell more books, more ancillary items, maybe even make more money directly from the show. And so if that's the case, then I should really bring a virtual or physical assistant to help me with this. And that will help with the declutter. Like, do you see what I mean? Once you go to that, you say, this is where I'm at now. This is where I'm going to be 6 to 12 months from now. Do I need all this? Or more importantly, what is the stuff that I need? The rest of it I can give away. Or if you want to be really visionary, you say, okay, I'm going to be in this place 5 years from now, but I don't need to read this book right now. I'm going to be in this zone 3 years from now, but do I really need this contract right now? No. Well, why don't I get a file cabinet and put it away? Because I don't need it right now. That's the emphasis of this episode, that we're kind of circling around that, is that it's not a matter of things not being needed. It's not like the stuff that you held on to or the stuff that's building up that clutter is worthless. It's more like not all of it is valuable right now. Is it all valuable right now? Probably not. So we need to figure out what percentage is valuable and important right now to your business and maybe even to your livelihood, and what part isn't. You might not need any more. You might not need it until, again, 3 to 5 years from now. In either case, either throw it away or put it away. That's it. If it helps you run your business, keep it. If it's not, throw it away or put it away. That's my take on the big Marie Kondo energy. You know she was going to come up during this episode. All right. One app that I think works really well with having a discussion, particularly with the physical, is something called Shoeboxed. Again, I love these app names. App names are hard to do. I can speak from experience. Man, they're hard to do. There we go. The number one, I didn't realize it was number one, receipt scanner app, loved by over 1 million businesses. You notice they don't say people, they say businesses. If this joint existed when I first started, then, my office clutter would have been a lot cleaner for the years, now I can say decades that I've been in business. Really simple. Turn your receipts into data for automatic data extraction. In other words, it will go ahead and read your stuff, and then it'll turn that stuff into digital numbers and words. And once it turns into digital numbers and words, you can go and put it into whatever software you want or save it on Dropbox. You see the thread here? The Dropbox link is below if you happen to miss that part of the conversation. For expense reporting, if you have a corporation, whatever, tax prep, we just got out of tax season here in America. Might as well get started on next year. And of course, so much more. It's really simple. Let me go and give you the features. But there's really not a whole lot to it. Get paper off your desk, and into action. That's it. And they have an app as well as a website. What's the thing I'm talking on a website? And as you can see, it translates and works well with Gmail and other things where it's automated. One of my favorite apps is called TripIt. It's TRIPIT. Old school app. I think it's been old school for apps. It was on like the original iOS, I think. So when the iPhone first came out. So I want to say it's been around for like at least 10 years, maybe 15. And what TripIt does is that if you're booking a particular flight, I use Delta myself. So if you're booking a particular flight, you can go ahead and send the email, or it can coordinate with your email once you get the flight information, and then it'll save it all within the app. It'll let you know if there's a delay or flight gets canceled or whatever. It usually works faster than the airlines contacted me. And I used to travel a lot, guaranteed. It was crazy. I'm waiting on the tarmac. I get a buzz, and TripIt is saying, hey, there's a delay to Pittsburgh. Sorry. Why don't you look at some other flights? And then it'll be like another 20 minutes on the tarmac. And then it's like, there's your captain speaking. And they tell us that, of course, there's a delay or a cancellation. It's happened to me numerous times. I bring that up, shout out to TripIt, but I bring that up because this is similar to that, where it's kind of taking out, the lack of a better term, the middleman, so that it could just be coordinated. So you go out to dinner. I live in Las Vegas. So you take a client out on the strip, and you go and you have a meal that can be coordinated so that that receipt, once you get on your credit card statement or whatever, will be coordinated with Shoebox. And then they'll go and organize it for you, which is perfect for tax time. Again, we just went through tax time here in America, and every year it's like, okay, how am I going to organize this? This will help you on your way. It works with Xero, it works with QuickBooks and other ones. We're going to get to that in a second. But that is Shoebox. I like the platform quite a bit. Be sure and check it out. And I think there's a bonus with the link that I'm giving you too. And you actually saw a preview of what I was going to say too. Shoebox works with QuickBooks, and I will share that screen. If you have a small business, you're probably already familiar with QuickBooks quite a bit. There we go. Oh my gosh. See, try for 30 days, which is part of my link. And QuickBooks essentially will be like a virtual accountant for you. Not a CPA, big difference. Right? It's not going to get into the deep tax stuff and get stuff organized in that way, but it will help you declutter, whether it's receipts, particularly if you tie it with Shoebox. You see the pattern here. Organizing your receipts, getting stuff out of your office and into a digital platform. And even in recent years, they actually work with tax prep folks. I want to say H&R Block and some other folks where you can actually file your taxes through there. My business has gotten big and to the point, and of course I have a family now, so we actually have a person that prepares our taxes. Because my business is at that point, my wife has her own stuff going on. Like it's just a lot. You got kids, it gets a little bit complicated. But if you have a small business, a side hustle, as I started off, QuickBooks was my go-to for probably the first decade of me having a freelance and independent business. Might have been longer than that now I think about it. Number one, you can actually file through there, which you could not do back in the day when I was using them. Number two, they actually are using AI now, which is different. It's different now to actually figure out how you can maximize your savings and other things of that nature, and even guiding you as far as where you're spending the most money and where you can spend more money, that kind of thing. The third part is that they actually have a sale coming up, and I think it's going to be rolling out over the next week or so. Be sure and check it out, but click on the link and you can learn all about that. And my last recommendation is Get Organized Now 2023. It was me talking more about the digital side of getting organized versus the physical. There's a little bit with the physical, but more on the digital. This one I feel like is a little bit more on the physical. Be sure and check it out. There's some other recommendations that I give. It's 2023, but it's still very timely. Be sure to check it out if you want to go deeper until that. All right, I'm entrepreneurial coach Damon Brown. I coach side hustlers, solopreneurs, other non-traditional entrepreneurs. Bring Your Worth shows every Wednesday at 1:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vegas time. You subscribe for free below, or just go to bringyourworth.tv to subscribe. And the Bring Your Worth collection is available everywhere, including at DamonBrown.net if you want a signed copy, if you want your Bring Your Worth shirt, want your mug. Check it out at DamonBrown.net. You can also listen to the audiobook for free of the complete Bring Your Worth collection at the link right below. My way of giving back. And also, if you guys are abroad on the road, as I talk about every episode, a lot of people that I coach are bi-coastal or going overseas and coming back. Shout out to you. I hope your travels are well. If you're in that position and you can't get the physical book or things are too active, just click on the link below. Check it out. You can listen to the whole audiobook for free. I think it's about 8 hours because it really is the complete collection. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And here's to decluttering and getting stuff together because it's springtime here in North America. And let's make some space for some magic to happen. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Until next time, remember, you can always bring your worth. You can always build from now. Take care of yourselves and others.